Nooit Gedacht, where over 150 farm inhabitants were buried, but 91 of the remains have been dug up and reburied at a local cemetery, with 31 of those remains now buried in unknown graves. These empty barren shells bear testimony to households that had to be relocated to make way for the mining operations, a move that has devastated many, including the Buddha family, who have lived here for decades.
Basivalela amathuna naka bona singabona mtele sithi nasithi sithola ngasena amathuna manje sihlezi kabuhlungu angilali nebusuku angilali vele ngoba kunabo baba kunabo mangapha kunabo gogo nabantwana bami ngapha ngihlala kabuhlungu kukhulu ngemafuwe inobukele mdefiyala ngoba bona bafuna ukumayina la benze into engifuna bangenzele into engifuna koyi dani kamare banginikele lokho engikufuna dani kamare ngikhambe basale mani mara amathuna ngifuna usuke lapha ngifuna bakampele.
A land affairs expert believes that laws regulating the exhumation of human remains could possibly not be complied with.
Mineral Resources Act, as well as the regulations on the exhumation of human remains, which is within the purview of the Department of Health, provide that there must be sufficient and genuine consultation with the affected families or the owners of the grave. My reading of the situation is that normally the mines goes with an imposition and also with a threat that if you don't agree to the exhumation and the relocation of graves, your graves or human remains are going to be mined. And this is what is happening.
Ancestral graves are protected under various laws, and in the case where the remains are of a person older than 60 years, a permit from the South African Heritage Resource Agency is needed before the remains can be exhumed for reburial elsewhere. The mine says this has been considered.
What we would normally do is we would do a public participation, we'll get the proper permits from the South African Heritage Agency, Department of Mineral Resources and Energy, through the stage where we still applying for a mining right. We'll do a whole site where we will identify the graves, we'll identify the households, where the mine plan will go, and the likelihood of resettling of the graves or the households.
Sithole says they did engage the community during a public participation process in 2021, and that they were also informed about the relocation process through local media. The mine has now dug this deep, long trench, putting an abrupt stop to all cemetery visits for those remaining in the area, like the Buddha family. Mulimone Motwa, SABC News, Middleburg.